Welcome back to the Davening Experience. Have you ever had this experience? You need to speak to a teacher in school, you need to call up somebody, and basically you're upset. You feel you need to say something, there's a problem, and there's a little part of you that feels a little guilty, like I'm only calling now to say the bad, but I really should have called a few times to appreciate all the positive things and thank them for all of the good that they do. There are a lot of jobs that get a lot of complaints and not enough of the opposite praise. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is being praised here in Gevuros for people getting better from being sick, from all kinds of things that happen negatively that people recover from and people are supported in. And the truth of the matter is that people die every day. And there is definitely room for people to feel negatively towards things that are happening in the world. But way more of than the things that are negative that are happening in the world are the positive things that are happening in the world. So we remind ourselves that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is constantly filling life with chesed and the bookend of rachamim. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is somech noflim, he is rofei cholim, he is matir asurim. Somech noflim means that people are constantly falling. People are falling for all kinds of different reasons, different challenges, but they don't fall completely. It's few and far between the people that fall completely down. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts challenges in our way. He is our personal trainer. And a personal trainer is there to support us and make sure that we grow from our experiences and never to completely fall from our experiences. And we need to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for supporting us even in those times. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is also the Rofei Cholim. Many people are getting sick on a regular basis, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is constantly healing us. And as we mentioned in the past, sometimes HaKadosh Baruch Hu even heals us in ways that we don't even realize we were sick, and we don't realize that we were healed. Umatir Asurim. There are people that are physically bound. Matir asurim means to untie the bound. It's interesting, actually. A lot of people use the word, it's mutter and it's asur. But the word mutter actually means mutar. It means untied, available, accessible. Something which is mutter, which is permissible, doesn't mean it's just permissible. It means it's accessible for avodas Hashem, to serve Hashem. Something which is asur, what does it mean asur? It means asur. It's tied up, it's bound, it's inaccessible. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is inaccessible through this item, through this behavior. So Matir Asira means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu unbinds the bound, that he unties those who are bound up. So there are people that are physically bound up. There are people that are emotionally bound up. There are people that are psychologically bound up. And unfortunately, we see people all the time that really seem like they are really struggling because they want to do something, and there's something that's just not allowing them to do it. And sometimes there's a breakthrough, and we see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is matir asurim and allowed this person to free themselves of their chains in whatever way that they may be upon them. And that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is makayim, he fulfills his emunah, his trustworthiness to those who are sleeping in the dust. There are people that are awaiting Tchias HaMesim, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will keep his promise for Tchias HaMesim. So at the end of the day, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who was like you, the master of all of the things that we find to be impossible. Sometimes a person may be so sick. Sometimes a person may look like he's falling so fast and so far. It may look like a person is so bound in chains. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Baal Gevuros, has a way to free this person, and Baruch Hashem, we see it on a daily basis. So Miday Malach, and who is similar in any way to the capacity of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who is the Melech, he is the king, he is Memis. There are people that die every day. But he's also Mechayeh, also revives them, Umatzmiach Yeshua. And finally, as again, almost like a mashal, like we spoke about in terms of the rain, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Matzmiach, the Yeshua. He makes the salvation, the ultimate Yeshua, Mashiach, come sprouting out of nowhere. You know, when you put a seed into the ground, the seed has to spoil before it becomes a shoot, and then comes out of the ground and shoots up like a weed and becomes a beautiful plant. And there's times where you think that it's been destroyed, it couldn't possibly arise, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Yeshua comes.